much more onto this Midland company, because I note it appears as one of your rental, suppliers, number 16. I wanted you could confirm to this committee if Midland Properties is also the same company as the Midland Construction company, because per year they seem to be receiving about 25 million for rent. Article 179 is very clear, that says that at the end of the day, you are the CEO of this county, you are the boss of this county. And isn't it not curiosity to you that Midland Construction got a contract in 2019, and before they even finished or executed, they also got another contract, also a similar amount in the year 2021, before you came to office? Why is one company enjoying to work with the Kakamega County, up and including in your term, whereby if they are the same in terms of the builder properties, to still offer the rental services? It's just a curiosity of this company. Thank you, Chair.
Some of the buildings are actually not even being utilized for the purpose they were meant for. So I've listened to your explanation, and the only question I wanted to ask you is, could you also therefore then give us a schedule in terms of programming, how long you think to resettle government, county government employees, management and team to government-owned buildings, so that these 71 million shillings, which is being utilized for rent and being paid to private individuals, could be utilized either in buying medicines or providing water and services which our people really need. I just wanted to say that I would want to plead with Governor Barasa and my brother Boni Khalwale. The purpose of this visit is literally to come and confirm that the money that we're being asked in the Senate to increase for Kakamega County is being utilized well. Your Excellency, I know sometimes as politicians we feel we are under siege. Even when it may look like his agenda is to try and say what you call an untruth, and I didn't want to go to our standing orders, because that means you're actually passing aspersions to his character as a person.
Pray for this afternoon session. Almighty God, we beseech you to behold in your word and favor as your servants whom you have called to leadership positions in this republic. We seek that.
Thank you for hosting us here.
Before I say my name, I also want to recognize my colleague, Honorable D.G. Sabula, a man I stayed in Parliament.
Good afternoon, Mr. Honorable Governor. My name is Senator Tabitha Mutinda, Vice Chair to this committee.
Good afternoon, Governor, the Chief. With me, I have a team from the county government executive.
Thank you, the Chief Governor, Chairman, the team. My name is Ayub Sabula Abacha, the Governor.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Osanga Boniface, and the next is also Boniface, but Boniface Akosi.
That is not concluded, and we came with the intention of wanting to conclude that, including a visit of the specific project. And
you give us the professional opinion on the same.
Senator Khalwale, what you're asking is substantive.
Yes, Chairman, and I'll tell you how we shall go about it. I'm highly experienced. Governor, it shouldn't look personal, okay? Just like I told you about Vihiga in our primate. There are certain things you cannot respond to on the spot. So once I raise these issues, you can then furnish us with the information. And if you have it now, you can give us. Could you clarify that that impounding fee refers to the money you collect from our business people in town when you take away their property? Next one is you have talked about cess. I would like to segregate the cess in Kakamega. You tell me how much you collect from Butali sugar, how much you collect from West Kenya, and how much you collect from the gold miners of Rastaman, of Malinya, of Bushiangala, and of Lirembe. That income, I would like you to segregate and give us. And again, as I said, if you don't have the answers at the tip of your fingers, just prepare and send us the report, then we'll be able to. Out of 6 roads, 3 of them you've given to Midland, or rather you paid Midland. I would like you to explain why this company called Midland is being favored by your government at the expense of the many other construction companies that are competent that we know. You've told us that the reason why you paid twice, 48 and 47 million, it was because of 2 separate interim completion certificates. So I'd like you to share with us evidence of those completion certificates, and tell us what persuaded you that the road we have witnessed today, one certificate deserved 48 million and you paid, and again you are satisfied and you paid a further 47 million. So that completion, share with us, tell us what work had been achieved. If your predecessor had thought along your line, we would not have been losing 71 million shillings per year. For the last 10 years plus your 1 year and 2 months, this county has lost 1 billion shillings for rent. So I would have toasted with you. But having done that, you now have the plot, you have evacuated our people from the estate in Mudiri. I would like you to tell us why you have not commenced the construction. And if it is the procurement process, if it is started, tell us where you are and why it is taking too long. We would like you to speak to the procurement procedure, up to and including copies of the advertisement that you put up to pull down this building and put up improvements. We'd like you to give us tender documents. You give us tender evaluation reports.
I think Senator Khalwale misled your colleagues by raising a question on the Navaholo Road that the contract sum is 95 million, and yet the real facts on the ground are different. The works done on that road is only 30%, but the payments which have been done is even less than the works done. We have only paid 47 and 48 million out of 448 million contract sum. What that tells you is that sometimes people may be having political issues or political scores to settle. I cannot say that Midland is favored. My first responsibility when I came on board is to ensure that any pending bill is first and foremost verified. There was a verification process that was done for all the pending bills, and the works which Midland had executed to warrant payment for certificate number 1 that was paid last year and certificate number 2 that was paid early this year. This is in accordance with the payment process which was verified by the engineers. Of course, there are many projects which we inherited, and we have a responsibility to ensure that those projects are completed. It may not be on time because of the payment milestones, but we are going to submit to the committee the status of that project as requested. Why rent private properties, a schedule of how long we are going to construct the county headquarters. We are now we are going through a procurement process. We appreciate the challenge of on-source revenue, which I know the people of Kakamega may not forgive you if you take the money that was meant to do roads to go and put on a county headquarters. Now, the process that we are trying to implement, which will be a first in all the 47 counties, is to come on board with something called tenancy purchase agreement, where you get somebody who has a financial muscle to construct a county headquarters, and then you have an arrangement such that instead of paying 71 million for rent, that becomes like a mortgage that will be paying that company. Then at the end of 10 years, you own that property. This is a model chair that will be a game changer. And Kakamega, I'm very proud that we are going to be the first one to implement that model of tenancy purchase agreement, where we'll be saving the county by paying rent in terms of mortgage to that company. And then we have a program that at the end of 10 years, I'm looking at it in terms of beyond my tenure, so that we give the people of Kakamega at least account headquarters, which will administratively be easier for the future governors like Khalwale here. Is going to have now account headquarters that has been constructed by Fiscal. So I'm very proud that this is a project which I'm initiating. And next year, once you go through the procurement process, because for me, process is very important. And I want to fault my senator. You know, you're asking a question when you already have a predetermined answer, that this is a construction of a building outside the procurement law, which means you're already reading the social media and coming now to ask for questions, and yet you have already judged the county. You cannot say that, first of all, you're pulling down the bill. This is a simple renovation. And for information, this building is owned by the county.
Yeah, I know some of the questions you may not have the documents and the answers readily with you. But in the interest of making sure that this report is exhaustively finished, I would like you to take the offer as given. Some of the questions you can choose to respond to us in writing with the evidence that is required to facilitate our response. The issue is just clarification as to whether there is any foul play, considering these contracts were not awarded by your government, but it was awarded by your predecessor. That is just for purposes of, so that as you also respond to this, I don't want the Senate to be seen as if we are condemning a given company because it has 2 contracts or 3. If the contracts have been legally awarded and it's the tender and procurement process has been formally followed as laid down by the law, and the interaction we've had with your team, there was an impression given that the roads in question, one, the total tender sum was 47, another one, the total tender sum was 48 million. So for, tarmacking of those roads, during the engagement in the committee, I raised an issue saying this one can't happen for this number of kilometers based on the prevailing rate for tarmac road per kilometer. And today, after arriving here in Kakamega, is when I got to find out that the contract sum is 448 million. And what was paid was 47 and 48 respectively for two different roads. It gives a complete different picture of what we have come to engage with. Sincerely, you should thank the Senator of Kakamega, because ever since the statement was raised, you've done a lot as a county. The Auditor General has come in and done a bit of work that would have given you headache. And now you have pretty much in over 90% verified pending bill that you're able to plan by. So look at the silver lining. You know, other undercurrents are not extremely important, okay? And number two, the contractors who are also your voters and his voters will be very happy to get to know that the pending bills have not forgotten. It's alive from both the executive and the Senate, the Senator of the county. And number three, this will give you, hopefully, with the help of Almighty Allah, the ambition of anybody else. As you mentioned, I didn't know he's my senior member that is going to run for governorship, but I pick it from what you've mentioned. And just reflecting on the same, I just want to say, for anybody continuing or taking over, it's very important that the pending bills issue are put to rest.